אמר ליבי, בקשו פניי, בקשו פניי לך. אמר ליבי, בקשו פניי, בקשו פניי, את פנייך הוויה אבקש, את פנייך הוויה אבקש לך. אמר ליבי, בקשו פניי, בקשו פניי. It's wonderful to be with you all. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Rachel. As Mark mentioned, it is the 9th of Elul, which seems amazing that it is 1 month now from Tisha B'Av, 1 full month. And in 1 month, on the 9th of Tishrei, it will be Kol Nidre. That's where we are. That's where we are in Jewish time. And so, being now fully into the month of Elul, over a week in, we are really in this month of Cheshbon HaNefesh, of spiritual accounting, of listening to our soul, of looking at what our actions have been over the past year. And the language that we use for this in part comes from the spiritual practice of Elul and into Tishrei, of saying Psalm 27. Some of us say it once a day, some of us twice a day, some of us whenever we remember, right? But this Psalm, Psalm 27, has been chosen to accompany this period of spiritual reckoning. And I chose this one line, verse 8, which has been slightly changed by the wonderful Nava Tehillah and set to music. They changed both the gender of the first word, instead of lecha, lach, to you, and they changed the name of God from Adonai, Adoshem to Havaya. But the verse goes, to you my heart says, seek my face. O Havaya, O being, O one, O divine, I seek your face. So there's an interesting interplay of dialogue and of names and images for God in this one verse, which I'm kind of endlessly fascinated by. To you, lach, lecha, my heart says, seek my face. Et panecha, your face, havaya, one I will seek. So Rashi says, who is this lecha or lach at the beginning? Lach amar libi, to you my heart says. Who is the heart speaking with? And Rashi says that lach or lecha means on your behalf, for you, not to you, but for you, for being with you, for getting closer to you. My heart says, seek my face. And I want to just share with you one other thought about this. Rabbi Shneur Zalman of Liadi, the founder of Chabad Hasidism, says that he takes it a step forward and says that not only is it that we are doing this for God, but when it says, Bakshu Fanai, seek my face, um, that Panai actually means the Pnimi Ut, the interiorness, the inside level of the heart itself. So, in seeking God's face, we are also seeking the deepest truth in our own hearts. Again, all of this feels very mysterious to me. What are we seeking? For whom are we seeking it? And how do we do it? For that question of how we do it and to introduce our practice, I want to quote one more sage. And this one is my own teacher, Rabbi Alan Liu of blessed memory, in the now classic, This is Real and You Are Completely Unprepared, who gives us some really specific, I think, helpful talk about what the heart is and how it works at this time of the year. So I'm quoting now from his book. Tshuva begins with a turn. This whole work of soul return begins with a turn away from the external world and toward the pnimiut and towards the inner realm of the heart. We effect this turn in many ways, and he talks about different practices, going to shul, doing Shabbat. But then he says this, or some other conscious retreat from the world of activity and stress. I love this sentence. A conscious retreat from the world of activity and stress feels exactly like those of us who are here right now are choosing and doing right now. And this can suddenly leave us in confrontation with the contents of our heart. These contents are an open secret. We already know this secret. Often, all that is required of us is to be still for a moment, and the heart begins to disclose itself of its own accord. So, this bakshu fanai, the seeking the heart, the seeking the face of God, is, is just by quieting and turning away from the world of activity and stress and listening. And there it is. And there it is. And yet, those of us who have been practicing knowing, sometimes it's not so easy and we resist this knowing of the inner heart, this seeking of the divine face. And Rabbi Liu speaks to this. Why does the heart require such an indirect approach? Why won't it just open wide when we ask it to? Why does it resist us so? We are sentimental about the heart, but the truth is, most of us spend a great deal of time and energy avoiding the heart at all costs. Really, we are afraid of what we might find there. The heart holds our suffering. The pain we most need to deal with is sitting right there on our hearts in plain sight, or else it is just inside its dark chambers. So I want to invite you as we begin our practice into a posture that feels right for you for this practice, whether it's sitting on a cushion, on a chair, laying down, standing up. Maybe some of you are driving. Who knows where we might be, indoors, outdoors, with the different environments. I'd like to just take a moment for you to decide how you're going to engage this practice and to settle into that posture. And as you settle, just allowing yourself to notice what's true in this moment, in the sensations of my body, wherever I feel them, wherever they are first maybe loudest, And then looking where they are gentle, maybe looking where they are quiet. What do you know about what is true in this ever-changing moment right now? What do you feel in the flow of your energy? Perhaps in some tightness or even pain. What is true? What can we notice without needing to change or adjust or fix? Just the noticing. And if it's comfortable for you, I'd like to invite you to notice the breath. If it's not a comfortable place to rest your attention, please feel free to notice the sensations of the larger body. But if it's comfortable, I invite you to just notice the fact that we're breathing. Noticing the inhale and the exhale. Allowing it to be just as it is, without needing to change or fix or improve or deepen. Just noticing the truth of the breath, the inhale, the exhale, the cycle of bringing oxygen into our body, taking from it that which we need and releasing that which we don't. Noticing the movement of the breath, allowing it just to be exactly as it is. And with this focus on the breath or the sensations of the body, with this focus on these observable phenomena, we allow the heart space just to be. And if it chooses to speak. And so, this practice that we are engaged in is, in effect, a deep seeking of the face of the One, of the open secrets of the heart. And yet, instead of pursuing them directly, we allow our attention to rest on an anchor, a focus that is directly observable, the sensations of our body, the cycle of our breath. And so, for a while, we'll intend to keep our focus on the anchor that we've chosen for our practice, the breath, the body. And when and if thoughts break in, as they do, we will just notice them. Perhaps they are just off-gassing and we can let them go. Perhaps there is an insight from the heart. We can just note it and return our attention to the sensations of the body. Knowing anything the heart wants to disclose, it'll come back again. And so we'll practice, continuing to put that focus on the sensations of the body, allowing the mind to at times be distracted, and then embodying tshuva by returning our attention to the observable anchors of our attention. We'll practice. Lach amalibi bakshu fanai. Bakshu fanai lach amalibi bakshu fanai bakshu fanai et panaich havaya Havakesh et panaich havaya avakesh. So as we continue to practice through Elul, as we continue to do tshuva, the work of tshuva, saying Psalm 27, singing Psalm 27, I'd like to close with John O'Donohue with a prayer of his called To Come Home to Yourself, which I think is just a translation of tshuva, isn't it? To come home to yourself. May all that is unforgiven in you be released. May your fears yield their deepest tranquilities. May all that is unlived in you blossom into a future graced with love. Keni Ratzon.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Dorothy Richman. Leading us so beautifully as always. Friends, let's all take a moment here to seal that practice and hold some space of healing and comfort for those who are in mourning. So if you are in mourning, or if you're observing a yard site, excuse me, or if your custom is to join in the mourner's Kaddish, you're welcome to do so. If you're not reciting Kaddish, we hope you'll stay present and support those who are. Just for a moment, put the name or names of those you're honoring in the chat now, or after we recite Kaddish. And if you're joining me, please rise in body or in spirit, and you can unmute at this time. Yit Gadal, Yadash, Rabba, Mama, Divrat, Yama, V'Yachol, V'Yachon, V'Yeh, Beit Israel, V'Galav, V'Zman Kariv, V'Yimru, Yishmei, Rabba, Barach, Olam, Ulamei, Yifa'al, Yifam, Yifa'al, Shemei, Kedusha, Mila, Minkol, Birchata, B'Shorata, Amen. And we punctuate our sit with the sounding of the shofar. Invite you to be still and take it in for yourself. Friends, thanks so much for joining us today. If you're leaving us now, I'm going to put in the chat our wonderful lineup of teachers for tomorrow, Wednesday through Friday. Rabbi Susan Leiter tomorrow, Rabbi Daniel Raphael Silverstein Thursday, and Allison Cohen, beautiful mindfulness teacher, on Friday. So we hope to join us for any or all of those sessions. Just remember, of course, if you can't join us live, all the sessions are recorded. All the recordings are posted on our YouTube channel. And also, we're really happy that this week we're we'll be bringing back new episodes of our podcast, Jewish Meditation for Everyone. And I think today might be our first new episode. So that will probably be out on Thursday for those of you who are subscribed to the podcast. And if you haven't, it's called Jewish Meditation for Everyone. You can get it wherever your podcasts are sold. And you can join us in that mode as well anytime. Thanks to Rachel Hugot for holding our tech Mishkan, our sanctuary here, so beautifully as always. And you're welcome to stay on. If you have a question for Dorothy, please put it in the chat. Write question all in caps, and I'll try to integrate your question into the conversation. Um, Dorothy, thank you. I have questions. I have questions. It's really great because I'm so grateful for the chance we have a little bit to not to intellectualize or analyze, but just to like keep unpacking what has just transpired. Um, and the word heart, the Hebrew's lev. I really appreciated you lifting up that particular verse from Psalm 27, which is very enigmatic as you described it. Appreciate the commentators who are trying to, you know, help it make sense, unpack the enigma. Um, but even just the idea of the heart, for me, I'll speak for myself, can be complicated because the heart's a physical organ, right? So whenever I hear the word heart, I literally start thinking about the heart, and without getting too literal about it, um, questions arose for me about if I'm trying to pay attention to what the heart is trying to disclose. And that passage from Anlu is so beautiful and so true, that we say we want to know what the heart, we say we want the heart and we're terrified of the heart, we want the truth and we can't handle the truth. So what is it? What is that truth? And what is that aspect of ourselves that's disclosing it? And I was feeling as though I was wondering what you thought about this. I associate the heart with feeling, right, with the emotional life, and less so with the mind. So I was noticing as I was saying, okay, come back. What is the heart disclosing? What's the heart disclosing? What's the heart disclosing? I didn't really know what to do with my thoughts other than to let them go and to try to go to, well, what am I feeling? So that for me, that it's a roundabout way of saying that for me, the sense was that focusing on the heart had to do with trying to bring the attention to feelings and emotions. So I don't know if that's true for you as well, or whether you have a different take on it, and also welcome, of course, as always, everyone's thoughts on the same thing. But is that how you get it? Is that how you understand it? That you were really like
Not
exploring?
exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
good, great.
I'll say maybe two different things. One is that like the idea of the heart is something that I have thought a lot about, and I have kind of a whole theology about, so I'll give you a little bit of
All
that.
right, right.
But before we get there, I just want to say to your question, and this is, I wish I had the page queued up and this is real because he says this in it. He says that you can't go directly to the heart to hear the heart. You always have to approach indirectly, right? And that's why our practice of meditation is useful. Because if you try to go, heart, what are you telling me? Heart, what do you want to know? That doesn't work. But when you put your attention fully on the breath, on the body,
Mhm,
then it's in that flotsam and jetsam of stuff that comes.
mhm,
Maybe not in the beginning, maybe right
mhm,
at the beginning, right? It takes discernment
mhm,
to know, but you're not asking directly.
mhm.
I would say you would wait to be on retreat
Mhm,
and really have a lot of off-gassing first and then
mhm,
kind of open to that question. But sometimes the heart, like he said, it's an open secret. So the moment you slow down, it just says itself to you,
Hmm.
you know? So it's exactly, and I think that's part of the enigma of the verse. The heart is speaking to say, not search me, but search my face.
Right. Which begs another question, of course, because elsewhere we read, of course, can't see God's face, right? Except indirectly, which goes to your point and Rabbi Lou's point that this is indirect, right?
Yes,
It has to be disclosed indirectly. Can't actually, we want to seek the face, and it will disclose itself indirectly. And
exactly.
right.
It's like
Uh,
Emily Dickinson's poem, like, you have to find its slant, Anyway, for
okay.
anyone.
I like that.
So I want to just say a word about the heart, and I'm gonna try not to get
Yeah.
too caught up in it. But I think that the heart should be taken literally. I think we are talking about the muscle of the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why,
Yeah.
right? What does the heart do? It's a muscle, and it pumps the oxygenated blood, meaning the breath that we bring in, through the body,
Mm-hmm.
and pumps out the blood that we don't need anymore. So, in other words, if the breath is the part of the divine that
Mm-hmm.
we bring into our bodies,
Mm-hmm.
then the heart is the muscle that sends, instead of oxygenated, read godified blood,
Mm-hmm.
like the divine in our bodies,
Right.
through our bodies
Mm-hmm.
every moment that we're alive.
Right.
And when we're not alive, is
Stop.
not there anymore.
Right.
So I think it actually is quite literal.
What do you think about that as an instruction for? I mean, I love that. It resonates as true for me. And it's interesting because it's an aspect of material reality that is used specifically, to suffuse materiality with spirituality, right? In that sense, in our lived experience, in our bodies. It's really quite amazing. So what do you think about that as like, as a practice instruction is to take a moment. We focus on the breath. I don't always think about that process of the oxygenation and the carrying of of the breath to every cell of the body through the system. That sounds powerful to me.
It's so interesting because I think I'm so influenced by, Rabbi Lou of blessed memory, but also by his best friend, Norman Fisher. May he live to 120.
Hmm.
And so I think all of these things talking about the heart are helpful in thinking about the experience of what we do.
Hmm.
But when we do it, I want to let go of all of it.
Hmm.
I don't want to decide what's happening in my body or how it's happening, or, kind of like cling to a certain way things should be or feel, or, I just want to see what's true. And if that is, for some people in the chat, is a truth that emerges from the experience
Hmm.
of what I feel in my body,
Hmm.
then I feel like I can trust that because it's not something that somebody told me or I'm trying to force. It's just that is what happened. That's why I love tshuva in the sense of
Hmm.
this practice, because we just do it. We know you can do it.
Hmm.
It's not a question of can you do tshuva. It's we know what happens. Our mind goes away, we notice it, and we have the experience of bringing our attention back.
Hmm.
And so that's an actual experience of tshuva. That's not a simile or a metaphor to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it informs what I know about the other kinds of tshuva I can do.
just to underscore that, thinking about, this is a season of tshuva, but of course, in Jewish practice, tshuva is a constant thing, right? It's a daily thing. It's in the Amidah. And, we have this great teaching that says that tshuva preceded the creation of the world, is kind of embedded, right, in the universe as a dynamic that was essential to part of creation, just to support everything you just said. I want to relay Harris's question here about confusion about that verse. Maybe you can also um, repeat the interpretations that we had, the Rashi, and I forgot what the second one was. But the first my
Yeah.
is clear the psalmist or each of us. The second my, being capitalized, is the face of the divine, but it's my heart that is speaking here. So Harris is asking, so is the heart representing the divine as well? um, we can really crack our heads open on this, but it sounds like yes.
That's of course the answer, right?
Yes.
That's why it has tons of ink spilled on it.
Right.
Right? But what I've come to feel about this verse is that if you're looking at it for a simple meaning, what's
Mhm,
happening here?
mhm.
It's very confusing. And there are a lot of different ideas about who's involved and what each phrase means and how they connect up to each other. When you sing it as a chant, though, it's lovely
By the
and
way,
it makes total sense.
that's your chant, just to be
No,
clear?
that's Nava Tehillah.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah. It to me, it's like it's no problem to sing it. Now, why is that? Shouldn't there be something in me that says, you don't know what you're saying? But the truth is that I think that like it does make sense to me. I just can't fully explain it, and I'm not sure I want to because what it does is it says that there are different components here. You, my heart, seeking the face and seeking the face, you know? And like all of those are involved,
Hmm.
and the mechanics of it are mysterious. They're
Right,
indirect.
right.
But somehow through the heart is the way to the face, and a voice and some kind of intention is motivating all of it in ways that can't be pinned down
Yeah.
or that are difficult to pin down.
The word that's coming up for me from what you just said is yearning. That is, it's a verse that's really about attuning ourselves to the innate yearning that every soul has for connection to its source.
That's
And
the thing.
yeah.
Yeah. It's seeking, avakesh,
Hmm.
right? Bakshu. It's not let me order it. It will come in 2 days and I can put it on my shelf.
Right.
It cannot be possessed. It's not an it.
Hmm.
It's a process.
Right.
It's a relationship. And so let me keep seeking. Let me search. Let me stay listening. Let me be open to finding something and then losing it and having to find it and yearn for it again.
Mm, beautiful. Just to mess with our minds even more, you got this weird plural, bakshu, plural, seek, plural, and then avakesh, I will seek, right? So
Yes, exactly.
just to like, so and to end with in the chat in the chat, there's questions about your Emily Dickinson.
Yes.
Tell all the Laura, thanks to Laura for sharing this. Tell all the truth, but tell it slant,
Yeah.
which I think I understand to mean tell all the truth, but it can only be known and even expressed indirectly, right? Not never, um, never directly. Uh,
Yes.
yeah.
I mean, sometimes directly, but in general, when we go to seek it,
Hmm.
this is like the all those wonderful Rabbi Nachman stories. You just have to go seek. It's not about
Hmm.
finding, it's
Hmm.
seeking.
Hmm.
We don't have stories about finding the end of the mystery, but seeking it.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. See that. Well, this is a great teaching and practice for the season of seeking. Thank you so much, Dorothy. As
Thank
always,
you. And thank you, Rachel.
what a blessing. Thank you, Rachel. Yeah, and thanks each of you for being here today. And we'll look forward to being with you tomorrow. Rabbi Susan Leiter will be leading us. See you at our usual time, everyone. Be safe and well until then. Take good care. Many blessings.